engine we adore is a really useful engine, you know. 'Cause the Fat Controller, he told him so. Now he's got a punchline to call his very own. He's the really useful engine we adore. He's the one. He's the number one. Thomas the Tank Engine. He's the really useful engine we adore.
A new station had just opened up over at Vickerstown called Great Barton. It was located over on Stephanie's branch line due to extra passengers coming to the island of Sodor. Along with that, of course, 4 new arrivals had just arrived in Sodor as well following the station's reopening. 2 new fire engines named Bell and Flynn, a new red crane named Rocky, and a new orange tank engine named Billy. And all 4 of them were very proud to be part of the Sodor Railway. But George the steamroller didn't like them and thought they were odd and strange. "These new arrivals are just ridiculous," he would say. 2 new fire engines, as well as, of course, an orange tank engine and a red crane. I've never seen anything like those before. This made George want to get revenge on the new arrivals for being odd and strange in his opinion, just as a Lorry rolled up next to him. "I also think they're odd too," he whispered to George, as well as, of course, wanting to get revenge on them. Just then, George had an idea. "That's it!" he cried. "What is?" asked Lorry. "Since you and I hate Rocky, Billy, Bell, and Flynn, and want to get revenge on them, why won't we come up with a revenge plan together on them?" The Lorry thought that was a great idea. "All right," he said. "You and I will meet over at Great Warrington Station tonight, and we'll discuss on how we'll get revenge on them." Later on, George and the Lorry gathered together near Great Warrington Station to discuss about their plan to take revenge on the new arrivals, just as an engine popped out of Henry's tunnel nearby and stopped to eavesdrop on what they were talking about. "All right," murmured George. "Here's how everything will go." And with that, George began to explain to the Lorry on how their plans for revenge will go on Rocky, Billy, Bell, and Flynn. "All right," snickered Lorry. "It's time for us to do this, to get revenge on some new arrivals." And with that, George and the Lorry rolled away to take their places and start their plans for revenge. Now that's what I'd like to hear. Besides, I do need to find some new road vehicles joining as recruits for Diesel 10. And those 2 will be perfect. I must see what they're up to. And with that, the engine rolled out of Henry's tunnel. At Brenham Docks, Billy and Rocky were sent to help up with the extra cargo as Lorry popped out of the building and began his plan for revenge on Rocky. As Rocky was about to load a crate into one of Porter's trucks, Lorry tooted his horn very loudly, which made Rocky jump and drop the crate really hard into Porter's truck. "Whoa, careful there, Rocky," shouted Cranky. "Sorry," said Rocky, "but a loud hoot scared me." "Don't worry, Rocky," called Billy. "Just keep on doing the work." "Now that's just beginning," chuckled Lorry quietly as he rolled away. At the brown turntable, Bell and Flynn were talking to Thomas and Percy about themselves, as well as their jobs. "Well, I could say I'm very unique for engine myself, with fire hoses to put out fires," said Bell proudly. "And I can run on both rails and roads wherever I want to," added Flynn, "especially if there's an emergency." This made Thomas and Percy very amazed and impressed. George, who was hiding behind Wellsford Station, saw an opportunity to get revenge on the 2 fire engines and blew his whistle very loudly, which scared Bell and Flynn and began to shoot water out of their hoses, spraying Thomas and Percy with water. Bell and Flynn felt very foolish and embarrassed, but George snickered quietly at the scene. That afternoon, Tom had came to talk to Belle, Flynn, and Rocky. "What happened, you three?" he asked. "You three made some silly mistakes as new arrivals right after you first arrived here." "We're sorry, sir," replied Rocky, "but there was this loud honk that startled me, caused me to drop the crate into Porter's truck like really hard, and someone tooted and whistled very loudly, causing me and Flint to get scared, causing our water hoses to spray with water all over Thomas and Percy," added Belle. "I see. Very well then. If any of this happens again, I'll find out who was responsible for this." By nightfall, George and Lorry met each other again near Great Barrington Station, feeling very happy about the achievement of getting revenge on Rocky, Belle, and Flynn. "Now those plans really worked," chuckled Lorry. "Now we just need to make a plan to get revenge on Billy for tomorrow." "And I think you and I will do it together," added George. "All right," snickered Lorry. "A revenge plan that you and I are going to be together on. On Billy, that is, of course," added George. "Ah, yet another plan for revenge on the last new arrival on Sodor." The next day, Billy was sent to take some coal cars to Vickerstown. He passed stations and ran around bends and was having a wonderful time to himself. Up ahead, the lorry made the switch before the station switched onto the left track. As he saw Billy in the distance not too far away, he reversed quickly as fast as he could. As Billy rounded the bend and headed towards the switch, he was diverted onto the left track towards the back of Vickerstown sheds, and once again diverted onto a siding. He bumped the buffers, and with that, he vanished into thin air. "Now that's what I call a sweet revenge plan," gritted George, sending Billy right into those buffers over there, causing him to be sent far away from here and the mainland. "It sure was," smiled the Lorry. "Now we won't be able to see Billy for quite some time, since he's away from both the mainland and Sodor, far, far away." "He sure won't," came a voice. "Who'd said that?" asked George. "That would be me, of course." It was 16, coming out of the shadows on the mysterious line near Great Warrington. "I heard about your plans, as well as being able to see them in the process, and they really turned out great." "How do you know?" asked George. "Well," replied 16, "I was able to sneak into here into Sodor from Vickerstown over the rolling bridge, and when I saw you two talking to one another about your plans, I decided to eavesdrop in Henry's tunnel so none of you can see me, along with being able to see you bringing out your plans while hiding myself." George and the Lorry were impressed. "Then what are you doing here?" asked Lorry curiously. "Well, I need you two for something," replied 16. "You'll see. Just follow me this way." And 16 reversed onto the track that he came from, with George and the Lorry following from behind, and together they disappeared into the dark shadows.